question is, who decides to release the schedule of elections in Parliament of India? It is Election Commission. Second question, who releases notification of election process in Parliament? It is President. So the schedule is released for election process by the Election Commission, and the notification of election process is released by President at Parliament level. Third question is, who decides to release the schedule of elections in state legislature? So for state legislature it is Election Commission, and even for Parliament it is Election Commission. Fourth question, who releases election notification in states? In state it is Governor, whereas in Parliament it is President. Is that clear, guys? So fifth question is, in which article establishment of interstate council is mentioned? It is mentioned in Article 263. Now what is this interstate council? It is a council formed to resolve the disputes between center or state, or between two states, or between center and two or more states. So that is interstate council, and that article is mentioned, and that article is 263. Sixth question, what do we call the commission or institution that is mentioned in the Constitution? So for example, Election Commission. Election Commission is mentioned in the Constitution, and that body is called a constitutional body. So anything, commission or institution that is mentioned in the Constitution, it is called constitutional body, and whatever is not mentioned in the Constitution, it is called non-constitutional body. Is it clear, guys? So seventh question is, which institution coordinates between states and between center and states? It is Interstate Council, and article for Interstate Council is Article 263. Eighth question, Council of State and House of People belong to which body? They belong to Parliament. And what is a Council of State? It is state legislature, it is Rajya Sabha. Council of State is also called Rajya Sabha, and House of People is also called Lok Sabha. So that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha belong to which body? They belong to Parliament. Rajya Sabha is also called Council of State, whereas Lok Sabha is also called House of People, and they both belong to Parliament. Ninth question, the members who are not more than 250 are from which division of Parliament? They are from Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha members are not more than 250 members. And how many members are nominated by the President in Rajya Sabha? 12 members are nominated by the President. 10th question is, who can vote in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? It is the lower house of state legislature. The members of this lower house of state legislature can vote in Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. 11th question, a state having both legislative assembly and legislative council is called bilateral state. Why? Because in a state, see here, legislative assembly means the lower house of state legislature, and legislative council is the upper house of state legislature. Upper house of state legislature is called Vidhan Parishad, and lower house of state legislature is called Vidhan Sabha. So Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad are possible only in bilateral state. Is that clear? Having a state having both upper house and lower house is called a bilateral state. Even Telangana, Maharashtra are some of the examples of bilateral state. 12th question, when was the interim government formed? It is formed in the year 1946. Now what is the interim government? It is a temporary form of government. 13th question, who was the vice president of the Executive Council of Interim Government? It is Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru also proposed objective resolutions. So now what is objective resolution? It is the guidelines which are written for constitution. For framing a constitution, the guidelines are written, and those guidelines are called objective resolution, and objective resolution is written by Jawaharlal Nehru. Is it clear? So the president of executive council of interim government is also Jawaharlal Nehru. Interim government is temporary form of government, and it is formed in the year 1946. 14th question, under which fundamental right prohibition of discrimination on groups of religion was classified? So on groups under right to equality. So 15th question is, which committee recommended election reforms? It is Dinesh Goswami committee. 16th question, how much percent of seats should be reserved for women in local bodies? It is 33%. 17th question, when can the candidate lose his deposit in elections? If he gets 1/6 of the vote, less than 1/6 of the vote. That is, what is this deposit? Deposit means when the candidate gets 1/6 of the total number of votes, then he gets a deposit. So if he gets a deposit, then he will be chosen if he is maximum, if he has maximum number of votes. So if he doesn't even get the deposit, the conditions which are possible for this is if large number of candidates do nominations for elections. So if large number of people participate in elections, then a person who is having the maximum power or maximum support from party may lose his chance of getting elected. So 18th question is, under which restriction the Supreme Court decides disputes between center and states? It is under original jurisdiction, and the council which coordinates between center and state disputes is interstate council, and the article of that is article 263. 19th question, which will not include in the term district judge under article 236? It is tribunal judge. So district judge under article 236 is will be not included the tribunal judge. 20th question, which part of the constitution envisages 3-tier system of panchayats? It is part 9. 21st question, on what aspect did our constitution recognize the minorities? They are recognized on the basis of religion and language. 22nd question, what is the maximum time period given for re-election of panchayat bodies if it is dissolved by state government? It is 6 months. 23rd question, which state government has passed a legislature in 1996 making the maintenance of one's parent mandatory? It is Himachal Pradesh government. 24th question, who had the power to dissolve Lok Sabha? That is President. 25th question, which article of Constitution of India gives President the power to make ordinance? It is article 123. So now what is this ordinance? The emergency law which will be enacted by the President in the emergency situations or when it is most needed, and when the parliament members are also absent, then the President takes a step to pass this ordinance. So it is under article 123. 26th question, what is ex post facto laws? See, the laws that new laws cannot apply to people operating before the new laws was passed. That is, for example, if an act is there, RTI Act is there, that is implemented in the year 2005. So after that, let us assume that RTI is an ex post facto law. So after that, an amendment in the RTI Act will not be included in this. That is, RTI Act 2005 will remain constant even after new acts are passed. So, old law can't be changed by any amendment or by passing any new laws which wants that old law to be repealed. So, if RTI Act 2005 remains constant even after the issual of many new laws, then that law is called ex post facto laws. Is it clear, guys? Okay. 27th question, which article of Constitution of India gives power to make ordinances? It is Article 123. President can make ordinance. Give an example for ex post facto law. Parliament's control over executive ordinance making power. Just now we have discussed about this ex post facto law, right? So that example is Parliament controls over executive ordinance making power. 29th question, which law implies the absence of arbitrary power, equality before law and individual liberties? It is rule of law. 30th question, which part of Constitution of India describes about environmental protection? It is part 4. 31st question, which type of election system is adopted by India? It is first past the post system. 32nd question, in which country the public interest litigation is originated? It is US. 33rd question, in which article the president shall not be either member of the Constitution is mentioned? Article 59. This is Parliament, not Constitution. So, the President shall not be either member of Parliament is mentioned under Article 59. So, Parliament consists of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and President. 34th question, as per Article 60, who should preserve, protect and defend the Constitution and law? It is the President. The President is also the first citizen of India. 35th question, when did Constitution of India receive signature of President? It is on 26 November 1949. 36th question, which committee recommended the state funding of parliamentary elections? It is Dinesh Goswami Committee. Just now we have learned that state reforms was done under the recommendations of Dinesh Goswami Committee. And under what are those electoral reforms? It is state funding of parliamentary elections was introduced by Dinesh Goswami Committee. 37th question, mutual respect of each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, non-aggression, non-interference in each other's internal affairs, equality and mutual benefit, peaceful coexistence are the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence of which agreement? It is Panchsheel Agreement. What are those 5 principles? One is each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty. Second is non-aggression. Third is non-interference in each other's internal affairs. Fourth is equality and mutual benefit. And fifth is peaceful coexistence. These are the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. Also called as Panchsheel Agreement, was adopted by India. 38th question, which schedule contain provisions of anti-defection law? It is 10th schedule. Now, what is defection here? Defection means, let us assume that if the MP of one party jumps into other party, then that process is called defection. It is also called horse trading. So, anti-defection law was passed. So, under which schedule? It was passed under 10th schedule of the Constitution. 39th question, is the word minority defined in the constitution? No. But minority is classified from two bases. One is religion and other is language. So minority word is not defined in the constitution. 40th question, an amendment to the constitution can be initiated by whom? It can be initiated either by Lok Sabha or by Rajya Sabha. 41st question, can a candidate contest from more than one parliamentary constituency? This was also asked in the recent prelims 2021. Yes, a candidate can participate from more than one parliamentary constituency. Now, how many total constituencies we have overall India? We have 543 constituencies. 42nd question, if he or she insults national flag, then the candidate is disqualified for contesting in elections to parliament and state government for how much period? It is for 6 years. 43rd question, to whom does freedom of trade and profession is not applicable? It is not applicable to non-citizens of India. 44th question, in which state village panchayats are not present? They are not present in Mizoram. 45th question, in which year Goa attained the statehood? It is in the year 1987. 46th question, UCC, that is Uniform Civil Code, belongs to which part of the constitution? It is from Directive Principles of State Policy. And what is this Uniform Civil Code? The name itself says uniform. Uniform means all over the country has the same laws. That is called Uniform Civil Code, irrespective of religion, caste or any other differences. So Goa was the first state to for implementation of this Uniform Civil Code. That means the same law is applicable to all the members of all communities, religions, and for everybody all over the country. That is called Uniform Civil Code. 47th question, under which Constitutional Amendment Act Daman and Diu were separated from Goa? It is under 56th Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, in which year did the state of Goa attain statehood status? It is in the year 1987. And Goa is, one more specialty of Goa is, it is the first state to implement Uniform Civil Code. And under which part of this Uniform Civil Code, under which part is Uniform Civil Code present in Constitution? It is under Directive Principles of State Policy. 48th question, which Constitutional Amendment Act laid the foundation of Panchayat Raj institutions in the country? It is 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act.